Hello, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. We are in two channels live. We are in the Dreamers Club Bahrain and we are in Zablon Loy Show channel in YouTube. Okay, so if you didn't subscribe first to my channel, remember subscribe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Subscribe. Because today I'm with one of the members of Dreamers Club, James. If you are in Bahrain, you know James well by his motivation speaks, by his encouragement, because him and John Gora, they are the same WhatsApp group, and we are just motivators and encouragers of the stories behind here and there.
Exactly.
So guys, if you never know what James do, let me introduce James to you. James, give them just a little bit of your inspiration story you have from Kenya, how you make it from Kenya to Bahrain, and then pursuing your dreams of being a motivator speaker or a speaker as a speaker. Well, because motivation speaker is not only started just suddenly from nowhere. It has to start from somewhere.
Exactly. Exactly. So it started a long time ago, from the time I was back home. Let's say from the time I was a kid. I've been brought up in a place called Mombasa.
Yes.
I've been born and brought up in that place.
Yep.
I went to a school called Mvita Primary School.
Yep.
Then from Mvita Primary School, I went to Chuda Secondary School. We call it TSS.
Yes.
Or the Soldiers Training School.
So you went to Soldiers Training School.
That's how we call it. It was our high school, but we normally call it the Soldiers Training School. Those who know about Chuda Secondary School, they are very familiar with the name. So in 2007, we had an election which resulted to be very, very, very violent. So 2007, it was 2007, 2008. So life became a little bit hard back home, so we had to look for an alternative. And that is how we landed here in Bahrain in 2009, April at 3 a.m. in the morning. So
the hot was real hot, or you made it was there?
We actually came during summer when it was really hot, and it was very, very difficult for us. So from 2009, we came here. We started working in a place called Wahoo Water Park. Worked there for like 2-3 years. Then I moved to hotel. That was the hotel industry called Kempinski Grand and Exil City Center. I stayed again there, worked there for 3 years. Then it was converted into another brand, which was Westin and Meridian. Stayed there for some time. Then I moved to another hotel brand called Wyndham. Then I stayed there for 4 years, and I moved now. I went back to work at the beach. Yeah.
That's all. But for me, I need people to understand, when we are talking about motivation speak, okay, how do you start? How do you construct the things? Because most of people, they would just see you speaking and you motivate them. But how does it start? What the idea behind?
Well, anything that you do, it has to come from you. It has to be passion.
Yep.
So the first thing that motivates me to do what I do is passion. Passion. Then for you to be at best of what you do, you need to do practice, and you need to
do it gradually every day.
A continuous learning process, and that is what we've been doing with Toastmasters International. So I joined Toastmasters International to be able to learn every now and then and to sharpen my skills in speaking in general.
And Toastmaster, is it online or is something you can do it online? Or because most of the people who are in Kenya and Tanzania and Rwanda and Burundi and Uganda, they might be encouraged to join Toastmaster. How do they join?
First of all, Toastmaster is an organization that helps individuals to develop themselves professionally, to develop themselves in terms of speaking and leadership skills. Toastmasters is a worldwide organization. It can be found, the clubs are found in each and every country.
Yep.
So it can either be online or it can be virtual.
Okay.
So depending on the club that you are in, and depending on the restriction of COVID or any other restriction that might hinder you from doing online. But most of them, that might hinder you doing the virtual meetings. But most of them, before they were virtual, but because of COVID, most of them are converted into online. So you can get both, either online or virtual.
Okay, I need people to know. So if they want to follow up on what you are up every day, where can they find you? Your handles, your Instagram handles, your Facebook handles, your YouTube handles, your TikTok.
Well, I'm very actually not very active in social media, but in Facebook I go by the name of James Gachanja. Instagram the same, James Gachanja, and then Twitter I do not do Twitter at all.
You just quit Twitter?
Yeah, TikTok I only have 2 videos, and then I got a little bit lazy. But TikTok again is still James Gachanja.
Okay.
Yes. My YouTube channel still it's going on. It's not that active. But again,
same name.
Same name.
Nice. Yeah. Can you give us a little bit a short motivation speak? Just a little, some lines, if possible, if you can gather them right away.
Yeah, there is a saying or let's say a phrase that goes like this, that if you want a thing bad enough, then go out and fight for it. Work day and night for it. To give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you go after the thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stand pertinacity. If neither cold poverty, famish or gold, sickness or pain, or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if you dog it and dream, and besiege and beset it with the help of God, you will get it.
So mostly by the help of God.
With the help of God.
Because most of people, they might see me here on this camera, thinking that Zablon made it in one day. Can you tell them the process of 10 years didn't take, it's not something of just like,
Well, it is very simple. When you are born, you are never born with beards or teeth.
Yep.
You are born as an infant, then you started developing. So at times your eyes could not see, then they started seeing, then you started crawling, you started walking, the teeth grew up, you started eating hard things. When you start working, you go to school. So it's a process. There is no way that anybody can just start from nowhere. There is never magic like that. There's no way you can just wake up and say, no,
You might, but you'll fall down.
Yeah, it's usually a gradual process that you have to follow. A system that has been set so that for you to follow each step by step, for you to be up there. Because I've never seen a ladder you just go up.
You have to that. Step by step.
Step by step for you to reach the higher heights.
On my mind, so many questions are running up and down. Because people from Kenya, Mombasa, escape post-violation, came to Bahrain, and one time, you were on the podium telling people how to make their lives better. And on my mind, I thought, why don't you write one book? So it's been recorded on the book. Is that a challenge or?
Well, I'll say again, I do not prefer writing books. I prefer giving the message on, we'll say, the first-hand information, whereby you get the information from the person or from the horse's mouth. One day or another, nobody knows. One day I'll be inspired to write, but not at any time soon. But the work that we are doing will continue doing until the day we'll feel exhausted, which we will never be exhausted. So we will do it forever, in other terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now on our social medias, the Dreamers Club Bahrain, YouTube of James Gachanja, John Gora, Zablon Loy, and Dennis. Most of people, when they see our social media, because we are just growing up on this side of Earth, Middle East, they think it's easier because we are having internet, we're having good cameras, we're having good telephones. But on my side, you can have everything, you know. But if you can't work for those things to work for you, then they are useless. And most of people were coming from Kenya. Now so many guys from Kenya, young and elder guys, they are coming from Kenya to Bahrain. What do you give them the suggestion what to do, how to grow? Because most of them, they're just landing maybe the security job or hotelier jobs, or maybe housekeeping, or maybe house manager, like how they say. How do you motivate them to grow?
First and foremost, what I can say, nothing comes on a silver spoon. And if it comes in a silver spoon, then that might be something that will not last for a long time. For you to be able to be on the higher heights, then you must go through a growth process, which is not that easy. And it's been put there so that when you reach a place that you want to reach, you will be able to remember where you came from. So there is a lot of suffering in this process. There is a lot of perseverance in this process. There is a lot of mistreatment in this process. You have to be able to persevere whatever you do, whichever job that you're doing right now. It's up to you again to decide whether you will be there forever
or no,
or you will want to change yourself. There is a guy who said that a person who is between 19 to 20 years old, we can say that they are not responsible for what has happened to them. But as soon as you hit 30 and you're still struggling with life, you are fully responsible for what you have become. There is nobody you can blame. There's a point at which in life everybody has a turning point of where they got lucky somehow, but it depends on how you use it, it depends on the priorities that you have, and it depends on what you really want to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, me and you, we both met our wives here. How can you encourage people that in Bahrain is a beautiful place to have your partner here, start life over here, and grow together? Because for me, I can tell them openly, Bahrain is the best place. If you find a partner, you agree on one term, you say, let's start the life, and she say yes or no, you can go on. Bahrain is the best place. I have been in some countries in Middle East, and I see Bahrain still on top. And do you on your side?
Well, the reason why you find most people, I think when you ask most people, they will tell you that I've been here in Bahrain. When you ask them how long, they will tell you 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And when you're new here, you start asking yourself, why would somebody stay here for 20 years doing what? You don't want to go back home. But when you stay, you come to realize how beautiful the country is, how accommodating the country is, and the people themselves, how accommodating they are. So Bahrain, in terms of raising a family, is a very good place. In terms of hospitals, I think my wife gave birth to a public hospital.
And it was amazing.
And it was Salmania Hospital. And it was very, very good. They took really good care of her until when she gave birth, until when she delivered, until when we transferred her. She was taken very good care of her. And even when she was leaving, they
hospital still there.
Yeah, they gave her pampers and everything.
So, imagine, that's the country we are talking about.
Yeah, so people normally say, no, it's very difficult here. You're not, as long as you do everything legally.
All paper are correct?
Yeah, you do everything legally. You have you have your papers. You have done the procedures that are supposed to be done. Nobody will disturb you.
So everything is on silver platter when you prepare.
Exactly.
That's nice. So my people, if you are on this channel, those are stories I'm telling you. You cannot get them on another channels. Only on these two channels.
Exactly.
The Dreamers or Zablon Loy Show.
Loy Show.
If you didn't subscribe, please subscribe, because you see, I'm telling you from my side, I was marrying my wife here in Bahrain. I got her here, and then I married her here. We get the first born here, the second born here, the third born here. So if you need to know why this land is pure honey, that's from our side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the parting shot, can you give them something that they will remember? The video we did together. they impact their life. Again, it's a motivation because I can't even ask something out which is not the same thing what we are doing.
There is a guy by the name of Les Brown, and he says that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one, rather than have an opportunity that you're not prepared for. And always remember, there is an African proverb that says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. So you are your own enemy. If you do not progress, there is nobody who will come from outside and try to turn your life around. So if you want to change your life, you go ahead and do it. There is nobody who is stopping you but you. So if you want to get something, go and get it. Don't wait until tomorrow. Do it.
Run with it.
Yeah, just do it. Nice.
Just do it. So guys, thank you so much for being part of this small story of James Gachanja. I'm not saying James Gachanja and leave it there. Please go to James Gachanja YouTube channel. Subscribe. You know Les Brown. You know Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. You know Steve Harvey. You know Les Dan. Les Dan, yeah? His name is Les Dan. One guy, bald, white hair. He's motivation speaker too.
Thomas.
We know
Thomas.
Then we know who from Kenya.
From Kenya, we do not know that.
Yeah, the guy from Nyanza.
There is this guy. I don't know his name, but he's very good. He's a very good motivation.
Yeah.
He's a very good guy.
From Mombasa, we have one, James Gachanja. we want people to know that in Kenya we have a best motivation speaker, and it's not that because only we speak good English or whatever. We are not bragging, but keep in touch at James Gachanja YouTube channel.
Yeah, they can do so. Also, my wife's channel. My wife's channel is called
Esiwa Jemo.
Esiwa Jemo. Yes, Esiwa Jemo. And then there is a Facebook called Esiwa Jemo also.
Yeah. So again, on Esiwa Jemo, those are all memories of, from started to the end.
From how you started,
and their kids, how the kids is growing.
Exactly.
So it's similar with what Kabiwa Jesus is doing.
Exactly.
And all those celebrities from Kenya.
Exactly.
May God bless you and have a good time, and thank you for subscribing. That's all we have.
Thank you.
Shukran sana.
Peace out.